Hello, I'm Craig Walters from Aviation Business News, and I'm the editor of MRO Management. We're getting ready for our annual Predictive Aircraft Maintenance conference this year, or PAM as we're calling it, taking place on the 27th and 28th of November in London. And I'm pleased to be joined on this video with one of the conference speakers, Daniel Williams, Chief Technology Officer for Aviation at Microsoft UK. Daniel, thanks so much for joining me today.
Hey, Craig, thanks very much for inviting me along to this. Really looking forward to the event.
Fantastic. So ahead of the conference, I wanted to get some thoughts from you about the industry and your involvement at the conference. But before we get onto that, for those that might not know you, could you give us a little overview of yourself and your role at Microsoft?
So yeah, as you said, my name's Daniel Williams. I'm the Chief Technology Officer within Microsoft in the UK, associated to aviation. So I work with a number of UK-based airlines and operators as well from a technology perspective, but also from a wider industry perspective. I'm also part of the global Microsoft aviation team as well. So whilst my initial remit is primarily sort of based from a strategic point in the UK, I'm also very involved from an aviation global perspective as well.
Fantastic. Okay. So at PAM this year, you're going to be speaking and you're part of the agenda and you're going to be speaking about something that sounds really exciting. And that, I believe, is delving into the fascinating world of AI possibilities surrounding predictive aircraft maintenance. So without giving too much away, can you give us a little teaser about the things that you'll be covering and what delegates can find out from you?
Yeah, absolutely. So I think since the partnership announcements we made earlier on this year in January, I think everything's been aligned to AI. Predictive maintenance is sort of one of those pillars that we've been talking a lot about. And I'm really going to be talking around sort of the importance of overall technology as well as AI in the future of predictive aircraft maintenance, and why it's such an important topic for us at Microsoft as well from an industry perspective. And I think that's really aligned to how the industry is sort of constantly evolving. So new aircraft being designed, more sensors being designed and implemented into those aircraft, and ultimately generating so much data. And it's really around how organizations can actually start leveraging this data, certainly from a PAM perspective as well.
Fantastic. Sounds like you'll be covering some really great stuff. So we'll most definitely be looking forward to that. And actually, the conference agenda is packed with lots of different panels and sessions covering a wide range of predictive aircraft maintenance issues. So what topics are you personally looking forward to learning more about at the event?
Yeah, absolutely. So there's two sessions that I'm really excited about. I'm really keen to hear what the speakers are going to be talking about. So there's one from David Harper, who's part of GE Aviation, specifically talking about AI and ML predictive maintenance. No surprise there why that's so exciting. And there's also one of my customers as well in attendance, Craig Lynch. He's a predictive maintenance specialist at EasyJet. And he's going to be talking about predictive maintenance from an airline perspective as well. So I think that those two are going to be really exciting from a technology perspective and from an airline perspective as well.
Brilliant. Excellent. So Daniel, as someone who is in the thick of it in the industry, what do you believe are the current trends or emerging themes that will have a significant impact on predictive aircraft maintenance, and how do you see them shaping the industry going forward?
Yeah, that's a really great question. So what I say today could potentially change in 6 months' time in terms of emerging trends and how we're seeing that sort of shape the industry. But I think from an obvious perspective, the increased use of AI and ML within the industry is going to be absolutely key. So collecting and analyzing data from sensors and other sources to identify real subtle signs of wear and tear with an aircraft that's going to be associated to predictive maintenance. Development of things like new sensor technology as well. So as everything starts to evolve and change, it's really around sort of ensuring that you're capturing real sort of detailed insights and accurate data about specific aircraft components and how that can affect predictive maintenance. Something like digital twins as well is something that's really emerging. Now, digital twins has been around for a very long time, but with the enhancements within AI, I think it really starts to bring everything to life around how organizations can ultimately use a virtual representation of aircraft to get a better idea and identify potential problems. And the final point, I think, from an emerging perspective, and it's always been a challenge from an industry point of view, is the collaboration between airlines and OEMs. I think that's now beginning to start moving forwards and change, and that's really where I start to see the new emerging trends associated to the overall sort of industry. But where it has a significant impact, I think, is where we start talking about the development of more accurate and timely predictive maintenance models as a whole. So everyone can start adopting them, reducing maintenance costs and improving sort of overall operational efficiencies as well to extend the life of the aircraft. I know there's a couple of organizations out there that really do squeeze every single air mile out of their aircraft, and it's great to see. You know, it's a real sort of sustainable model as well. Secondary to that, we talked about new technology being developed throughout the space, but I think making predictive maintenance more accessible to smaller airlines and operators is really, really important. Typically speaking, it's been more associated to the big legacy carriers, and I think the new sensor technology with things like digital twins can make it a lot easier for these airlines to adopt this type of technology and make it more affordable as well. And the third one, it's a bit of a curveball, but I think from a trend perspective, creating new opportunities within the industry for companies and organizations to develop and provide, predictive maintenance solutions as demand grows for this type of thing. So will the opportunities for these companies to grow and succeed as well.
Excellent. Yeah, I think the opportunities in the industry is something that's really going to come to the forefront really soon. So that's great to hear that from you. What about industry challenges, Daniel? Is there anything that's keeping you awake at night? How do you think any obstacles that you think are there? How can they be overcome, do you think?
Everything keeps me up at night, really, when we talk about these sorts of things. I suppose the key ones for me, certainly, I'm going to try and make it more sort of technology focused, I suppose. With aviation, obviously, it's a very old industry. It's been around for a very long time. The adoption of technology really sort of started to take through from the 50s onwards. From that perspective, and we see a lot of legacy technology associated to airlines, especially some of the larger and older carriers that I tend to work with. And the way they structure their data and don't necessarily integrate it. So we have a lot of legacy data silos. So that's one piece that I think is a major challenge within the industry, and how these organizations can change and adopt their approach to sort of data management and data cycles effectively to help power things like AI and predictive maintenance as well. And the other one is collaboration. I obviously talked about an emerging trend between airlines and OEMs, but I think from an industry perspective, we don't collaborate enough. We do as much as possible at the moment, but I think the relationship needs to be a lot tighter. We've come together as an industry to attack and go after the sustainability targets, the 2050 targets that are absolutely key for the future of the industry. But at the same time, when we talk about predictive maintenance, I think from a group perspective, we need to be a lot more collaborative and work together. So those are probably my two biggest challenges, I think, when it comes to this sort of stuff.
Good, and absolutely. You mentioned there about collaboration. PAM is going to be bringing together lots of people within the industry, from airlines, MROs, OEMs. So would you agree that an event like PAM is a great way for everyone to come together and discuss ways forward for the industry?
Yeah, I think it is. So this is my first time attending PAM. I'm really, really looking forward to it. I think it's extremely rare we get the same type of industry specialists together in one place, all talking about the same thing. Normally, when you attend these type of industry events or other conferences, it's lots of different tracks, and people get pulled left, right, and centre into different avenues and different talk tracks, etc. I think focusing purely on this subject will be fantastic, and the fact that we've got so many specialists in the room talking about the same thing is fantastic. And I also think, obviously, quite selfishly from an AI perspective, it's nice to see something like predictive aircraft maintenance be included within the AI topic. So normally it's, let's talk about customer experience, let's talk about operational efficiency from backroom staff, back office tasks, those sorts of things. But now we can start bringing in predictive maintenance into the wider AI conversation, not just specifically focusing on the very cool, shiny stuff that AI normally tends to focus on.
Absolutely. Well, Daniel, thank you for sharing your thoughts. We look forward to seeing you at the conference. It's certainly shaping up to be a great event, and we're really excited to have you involved. So thank you for your time today, and look forward to seeing you then.
Excellent. Thank you very much, Craig. Appreciate it.
Thanks. Bye bye.